Hey guys! As many of you know, today was my first day at the coding bootcamp that I'm doing here in London with Flatiron School. I posted a couple of things earlier today and I've got a lot of questions from you guys about the experience so far, so I thought I'd just turn the camera on and answer a few of those questions. I'll start with the first question from Jeanette. She asked, how long am I staying in London for? The boot camp that I'm doing is 3 months long. That means that I'll be here up until the end of August unless something comes from completely left field, unplanned for, which would change that, but otherwise I'll be here for the next 3 months. The next question comes from Flatiron School themselves on social media, and they asked, how was your first day? So my first day was amazing. One of the biggest reasons I decided to do a coding bootcamp instead of learning on my own is because of the community, and by far that has really just lived up to the expectations that others who've gone through this program have told me about. So I'm really happy about that. It was also great because I'm already feeling challenged, which is exactly what I signed up for, so I'm getting what I asked for. The next question comes from Lewis, and he asked, what's the first focus? So before starting the boot camp, actually, we had a prep course, which was probably like 90 to 100 hours worth of prep that we had to do, and we pretty much walked through several things like basics of HTML, CSS, Ruby, and a few other things. We pretty much made use of a few of those. For example, we created user profiles using some of the HTML that we learned in the prep course, and we also were able to work on one of the labs that we had to do with Ruby, which is one of the programming languages that we'll be learning. And so yeah, so we did a bit of that review, and then we also did an icebreaker because what program can begin with no icebreakers? So we did a bit of human bingo where we had to learn some fun facts about everyone that's in our cohort. All of that pretty much helped us get to know each other a little bit better, which is nice because made use of that community aspect. Let's see. The next question comes from Tiffany, and Tiffany asked, is it like all dudes? And the answer is no, it's not all dudes, but there are a lot of men. I think I was in an elevator and there were about 7 guys to about 4 girls, which to me is probably expected given what everyone says about the industry, but I'm perfectly okay with that. I actually like working with people who are different from myself, so I don't at all mind it. I think it actually adds to my experience versus takes away from it, and there's also at least one Latina in the group, so I already have someone that I feel I understand, or that understands me just very naturally. A lot of guys, yes, but enough girls and enough people that I can connect with for me to feel perfectly fine and okay with that. So the next question comes from Vanessa. Vanessa asked, what was the issue? Earlier today, I posted on my Instagram story that we ran into our first collaboration issue when we were creating those profiles that I mentioned earlier, using some of the things that we learned. We each had our individual parts to work on. When we all finished working on it, we had to merge them together, and pretty much we screwed it up. So we had to get a lot of help from the instructor, and yeah, it really made me realize that collaboration is so important, and teamwork and communication is just major, obviously, in any field, anywhere you go, but especially here when things can break, and you know, then you gotta go back and fix it. Okay, so the next question comes from Scavenger Dev. He asks, how is London? As many of you know, I grew up in New York, so I feel like London is a lot like that. in many ways. A lot of people, a lot going on, just buildings left and right. It feels like I'm back in New York, just people walking around with a British accent. Yeah. And the last question comes from Saleh, and Saleh said, hello. Hi Saleh. I know you messaged me. I'm gonna get back to you, and don't you worry. Alright guys, well that's all for right now. If you have any other questions, obviously feel free to ask, and if there's enough of you, I'll consider doing another one of these videos. But yeah, see you guys later.